Hey guys, Captain Dylan Hubbard here at Hubbard's Marina. Welcome to the Sunday night live stream show. That's right, y'all. It's Sunday night and it's time to talk fishing, hang out, and have a good time with you, answering your questions, talking a little bit about what's going on, what's coming up, and showing you what we've been catching, plus giving away free fishing trips. That's right, $1,500 in free trips coming at you over the course of the next hour show. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. Don't forget to comment one time on the Hubbard's Marina YouTube stream in order for a chance to win. Also, it really helps if you give the video a thumbs up on your YouTube. If you are watching on YouTube, make sure you give the video a thumbs up for us. It really helps us out. Make sure you comment as well. If you're watching on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Trovo, Twitch, it does not matter. If you like the video, comment on the video. It really helps us to reach more people. So please make sure you interact with the video by liking and commenting on whatever platform you're watching, or multiple platforms if you feel like jumping around a little bit. Also, want to make sure we give a shout out to our friends over there at Gator Jim's Tackle. Remember, 3301 Pinellas Point Drive South in St. Pete. If you haven't stopped by to see our friends over at Gator Jim's Tackle, you are missing out. An incredible selection, killer deals, great people, stuffed to the gills with deals down there at Gator Jim's Tackle. Stop by, say hello, tell them Hubbard's Marina sent you. We really appreciate our friends at Gator Jim's Tackle for making this show possible and being our original partner in the live stream show. Also, of course, want to make sure we give a shout out to all of our star senders out there who, of course, help fuel the show as well and make what we do possible, for sure. So couldn't do it without them. All the star senders on Facebook, and, of course, some of the super chats going on YouTube as well. Let's see, we had William Mitrovic so far on YouTube with some super chats. Thank you, my friend. Scott Flynn with the big 500 stars on Facebook. James McCullum with 500 stars as well. We had Tim McCardle. We had Richard Harcourt and Stephen Batchelor with the big 500 as well. Appreciate everybody tuning in and hanging out with us. Thanks, Richard Harcourt. Appreciate you as well, my friend, with the stars and the super chats on YouTube and Facebook. Remember, if you want a chance to win some of the free trips tonight, you have to watch the entire show live. Then you have to stay tuned, and you have to comment one time on the Hubbard's Marina the Hubbard's Marina YouTube stream. So go to YouTube, find the Hubbard's Marina live video, comment once. That enters you for a chance to win. Then stay tuned live, because if you're picked as one of the lucky winners, you got 5 minutes or less to claim that free trip. Ben Young, appreciate those stars on Facebook. Also, Adam Franklin and LaShonda with a big super chat. Thank you, LaShonda Brown. Appreciate you very much. All right, so let's see here what's going on. We've got some photos to show you guys what we've been catching inshore, near shore, and offshore. Someone said YouTube isn't working on Facebook. It definitely is. We've got quite a few watching on YouTube right now live, over 160 watching live on YouTube. So it's working, and we're going to drop the link in the Facebook chat for you. Josh just has the wrong date on the YouTube video, but he's fixing that right now for you, so that might be why it's tripping you up. All right, so let's get into the photos and show you guys the photos of what we've been catching. And photos are going well for us, man. Fishing inshore has been going real well for sure. So let's hop inshore and show you guys what we're catching on the inshore side of things. All right, first things first, we got some nice redfish action. The redfish bite has been picking up for us inshore, which is cool to see, and it's pretty expected. We generally see some really nice redfish going on. September and October is kind of peak redfish time in our area. Some big black drum action too, which has been pretty solid around the area. Some flounder on the edges. Around some of the sandy bottom near structure is a good place to find them. Seeing plenty of the redfish around the grass flats, oyster bars, and some pretty big schools starting to show up as well. And it should only get better as we move into later September and that water temperature starts to dip a little little bit more. We see a lot of fresh water right now, which really draws those redfish into the bay, which is pretty cool. Lots of black drum, schoolie size fish moving around. Lots of good snook action around the beaches and around the pass. Snook season is open. Obviously, this is a harvested snook, 28 to 33 inches. They open September 1st for just, I believe, 3 months. 28 to 33 is the slot limit on the snook, but a lot of people just catching and releasing them, but some do some harvesting if you get lucky enough to get one in the slot. But some nice fish around, really active right now. Our friends at Salt Strong have been posting plenty of them. Are seeing some mackerel up in the bay, especially a lot of bait around, flowing waters where you're going to find those mackerel, fast moving, flashy jigs work really well. Seeing a pretty steady trout bite. This is our buddy Dan the Fishman, not far from Hubbard's in upper Bogosiega Bay on the edges, potholes. Seeing some trout around the dock lights and bridge lights at night as well. So good time to get out there and capitalize on a pretty active inshore bite. Let's work our way out there a little bit deeper. A lot of people on Facebook are asking, do you have to watch on YouTube? No, you can watch on Facebook. Just like before, we used to give away free trips on Facebook, and people watched on YouTube all the time. So you can watch on YouTube, you can watch on Instagram, you can watch on Trovo, Twitch, you can watch wherever you want. But if you want a chance to win free trips, you do have to comment one time on the Hubbard's Marina Facebook, or Hubbard's Marina YouTube stream, excuse me. And Josh is repeatedly dropping the YouTube link into the Facebook chat, and it is working because, again, we've got a lot of people watching on YouTube. All right, working our way near shore, showing you guys what we've been catching near shore. The hogfish bite has been picking up. Today's 10-hour trip, Captain Dylan Kilgore texted me at 9:30 this morning. I shared this already in the supporters group. They've been getting a lot of updates. I'm trying to update the supporters group daily now with some inside information, and they got this update earlier. Captain Dylan texted me this morning pretty early, hey, good start to the day, with 2 really nice gag groupers being held up. On the 10-hour trip, they caught 2 gags pretty early on in the trip, and then on top of that, they came back, and they at the end of the day, and Captain Dylan texted me an update. He caught, what did he say? I think it was 9 keeper hogfish and some mangrove snapper to round out the day. No more gags, so not a ton of gags, but really cool to see so many hogfish coming up on a 10-hour all day. This time of year, water's still pretty hot too, so as that water continues to cool down, it should only get better and better and better. So super excited about that because the hogfish bite's going well for us, to say the least. Picking up. I would say it's picking up. It's not crazy, but it's getting better. The gag bite's been pretty solid too. Even our bait guy Brian Harris is in on the action. We're seeing some nice gags out there in deeper water. The 12-hour extreme, the 39, the 44 hours, really the trips to get them. But you can get them near shore, as Brian just showed us, and the 10-hour trip showed us today. You can catch a few of them near shore, but we're catching a lot of the big dogs, the 25, 30-pounders out there in the deeper waters. Nice big mangrove snapper action. The mangrove snapper have been really steady too. Seeing some nice mangrove snapper. Here's a cool one. This is a schoolmaster snapper, I'm pretty sure. Pretty unique one. We don't see too many of those up our way. It's either a dog or a schoolmaster. I'm not sure because we don't see them too much. I think I'm going to call that a schoolmaster, 90% sure there. But it could be a dog snapper too, but I'm pretty sure that's a schoolie. So nice mutton snapper, seeing quite a few mutton snapper and pretty consistent numbers of the mutton snappers. Some big fat red groupers, some 25, 30-pound red groupers, some 25, 30, 30-plus pound gag groupers, which has been really cool to see. Some 20-plus pound red snapper, some 25-pound red snapper even. So some really big snapper and grouper. It's been a good time to get out there and capitalize and have a good time doing it for sure. Some nice wahoo. This is our buddy Captain Steve Papin was out there. I think this was a 68-pound wahoo. Swam up to the back of the boat, and they were able to land it, which is pretty cool. We had a wahoo swim up to the back of the Florida fisherman, but we were not quite as lucky to land it. But Captain Steve Papin got this one to the boat, which was pretty cool. Had to share for sure. So all in all, pretty good action, near shore, offshore, and keep in mind right now we're really focused on these red snapper and gag grouper because they're not open very much longer. September 14th, that gag grouper season ends, but September 15th, the red snapper season ends, but we still have red grouper open all year. We still have triggerfish open the rest of the year, scamp grouper, mangrove snapper, mutton snapper, yellowtail snapper, so many species. So really, really, really cool to see so many options as we move into the end of the year. So second half of September, we get into really light loads. Second half of September, October, November, December, plenty of opportunities to get out there and do some catching for sure. So hopefully you'll join us. All right. With that, let's get into events. We got some events coming up. Next week, September 11th, we've got an event over there at CJ's Backstage in Tyrone area with Old Salts Fishing Club. We're super excited to have Old Salts invite us back for another fishing conversation over there at CJ's Backstage. It's a lot of fun, and it's a great group of people. We're looking forward to that. That is Thursday night, September 11th from 7 to 9 p.m. over there at CJ's Backstage in Tyrone for the Old Salts Fishing Club meeting. And then, of course, every fourth Tuesday of the month, we've got our OCC Roadhouse event over there at OCC Roadhouse from 7 to 9 p.m. We're going to be giving away Bull Bay rods. We're going to be giving away some Engel coolers, Real Animals and Hubbard's Marina swag, and it's really, really going to be a good time. So hopefully you'll see us September 23rd at 7 p.m. for that OCC Roadhouse event as well. So two big events coming up. Again, gag fishing has been pretty solid for us on those long-range trips. You got a chance for some of them on the near shore trips and the private charters as well. Amberjack season is open. Not really quite sure how much longer it's going to be open, but take advantage of them while you can and make hay while the sun is shining. I'm thinking we're going to have Amberjack open at least another couple weeks because I haven't heard any rumors about any movement on Amberjack. So I'm thinking they're going to be around a little bit while longer. So take advantage while you can for sure. John Herman Sr., appreciate those 1,050 stars. Ben Young as well. Appreciate the stars on Facebook, y'all. All right. Finally, Friendly Fisherman. Remember, the Friendly Fisherman is now operated by the Hubbard's family. So Hubbard's Marina has taken back over the Friendly Fisherman Seafood Restaurant. And if you haven't been there in a while, it's worth checking back out. They've really revamped the menu. We've got a cobia special going on right now with cobia tacos. There's a bacon wrapped sea scallop special. It's incredible. They're really, really doing some cool things over there at the Friendly Fisherman Seafood Restaurant. So next time you come out and see us at Hubbard's Marina for a trip, plan on stopping by the Friendly Fisherman after for your fresh fish, or if you're coming dolphin watching, hit the Friendly Fisherman for lunch or dinner before or after your dolphin cruise or your island trip or your shelling trip. Or if you come out and do a sunset cruise, can't beat a dinner and a sunset cruise because remember, you get discounted parking as well. And right now, it is such a great time to visit John's Pass because there's not a lot of people around, so you really get to kind of stretch your legs and explore the pass without all the crowds. So come by and see us at the Friendly Fisherman Seafood Restaurant and enjoy some of those new specials and revamped menus. Also, remember, one other announcement we want to make sure we emphasize is don't forget to subscribe on YouTube. Subscribe for us. It really helps promote the channel and helps us to reach more people, and we're very close to our goal of 20,000 subscriptions, and we're really, really trying to get there and reach that milestone. So help us out. Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube and give it a thumbs up while you're watching. All right. With that, Dolphin trips, again, dolphin trips. We got eco tours, we've got shelling trips. A lot of people know us for our fishing trips, but we have a lot more than that too. So stop on down and see us. This is a great time of year again with such light loads around. We're still busy on the fishing side of things because red snapper and gags are open, but right now it is a super great time to go out there with 10 people. Our dolphin tour today had 6 people at 1 o'clock, like 9 people at 3 o'clock. So super light loads to come out and enjoy some pleasure cruises as well. And then finally, last announcement we want to make is to remind you about the online store. If you pop on over to hubbardsmarina.com, you can hit shop up here on the top of our website, and that's going to bring you to our online store. And we have a bunch of new cool things up here. I'm going to hit apparel, and I'm going to hit hoodies and jackets. We just got a bunch of new jackets in the shop. We've got a bunch of new hoodies in the shop, some zipper hoodies, some all-weather jackets. It's going to start getting cold. Not in Florida quite yet, but other parts of the nation, it is definitely starting to get colder up north. So you got some hoodie sweatshirts, some jackets, some light cover-ups as well. So really cool stuff in our online store. A lot of new shirts as well. If you haven't been on the online store in a while, definitely some cool new things to check out. So make sure you stop on by. I think this is one of my favorites that we have, one of the new shirts. Really cool design. So stop on by the online store. Again, just go to hubbardsmarina.com and hit shop, and you can explore all the new apparel, shirts, and designs that we have in our shop. Next thing, we got to talk a little bit about the weather. The weather is weathering on us. It's been a little bit crazy. Popping over again to hubbardsmarina.com. We're going to click fishing trips, scroll down to the weather links page, and what's been really frustrating is the weather has been really off base considerably. So you can see here, it looks like today was supposed to be a nice day with 1 foot seas and some calm conditions wind-wise. It was probably 3 times this amount. The forecast was off that bad. It was more than double for sure. And you can look again on the weather links page. If you scroll down to the buoys, you've got the buoy at Egmont Key. Let's see. Yeah, buoy at Egmont Key. Can you just zoom out a little bit, Josh? There you go. So blue line is what it actually happened. The red line and the orange line is what the forecast was. So today's forecast was about 1.5 foot. It ended up being 3 foot this morning. So considerably more bumpy today. And that's the inshore report. The offshore report, it was calling for 1.5 foot seas, and it was 4.5 foot. So more than 4 times higher offshore today than it was. So pretty frustrating. The other thing we're watching out for is it's looking okay weather forecast wise, at least for the first part of this week, but later part of the work week, especially like Thursday, Friday, it starts to pick up weather wise, and potentially this weekend we might have yet another low pressure trying to develop on top of us, creating some nasty weather for us. So there's a potential that this weekend coming up, it's going to get a little nasty and a little bit bumpy on us. So we're keeping an eye on things, but it could potentially get a little bit nautical here this upcoming weekend. So keeping our fingers crossed and hoping for the best, but there is a chance for that, and we're hoping again, like I said, that it stays nice and we're able to make it happen this weekend too. All right, so with that, we talked about the weather, the photos, the announcements. It is time to get into some of your questions. Remember, if you have a question you want answered live during the show, you do have to text it to the phone number on the screen. So make sure if you have a question, text it to the phone number on the screen so we can make sure we answer your question, because we don't always see what's going on the different streams on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. We can't always see all the comments. So the best way to make sure we see your comments is by texting us at the phone number at the bottom of the screen there. All right. Oh no, we already did all our announcements. All right. It is. You're right, Josh. Before we get into questions, we have to do our first giveaway. That's what I was thinking. I knew I was on the right track. I just didn't make it all the way to the connection there. So our 5-hour half-day trip is brought to you by our friends over at Innovative Pools and Spa. Remember, Innovative Pools and Spa brings you 35 years of experience building pools in the Tampa Bay area. They continue the legacy of their father's company, which has been around again for 3 generations as a top pool, or 3 decades as a top pool builder in the Tampa Bay area. And they continue to raise the bar in pool construction, design, and features. Give them a shout today at 727-788-1650 or visit them online at innovativepoolsandspa.net for an estimate. Remember, they've got that $49,000, $49K pool special. Right now, you can get a 12 by 24 with some special pebble inlays, top-of-the-line equipment, a killer deal for less than $50K. So really, really cool pool specials going on right now. Check out our friends at Innovative Pools and Spa. And they are the lucky business partner who have brought you some good luck at a 5-hour half-day giveaway for 1 lucky winner, 2 guests. Let's see who the winner is. Drum roll, please. Lillian Rich on YouTube, watching from Orlando, Florida. Congratulations, Lillian Rich. You've got 5 minutes or less to text us your full home address to claim that free trip, Lillian. Appreciate you watching on YouTube. Again, don't forget to comment, like the video, give us a thumbs up, and subscribe as well. Definitely helps us to reach more people as well. All right, so with that, let's get into some questions and see who's got the first question of the night. How's the 10-hour trip doing on the gags? If you want to target gags, the best trips, 12-hour extreme, 39-hour, 44-hour, you have a chance, a slim chance on a 10-hour. We have, like I said today, we caught 2 nice keeper gags, but that was it. The first couple 10 hours, no gags. So it's not really the time of year to catch gags near shore. Gag grouper are out deep this time of year when that water's so hot. So to catch gags in September consistently and to catch big keeper gags, you really need to be out there in deep water or like way tucked up in the bay in some smaller areas. And you can get a few of them up there, but you get a lot of shorts too. When is the best time of year to catch mangrove snapper on the 12-hour night trips? Historically, I would have told you summer, warmer months. Nowadays, we catch mangrove snapper year-round. Cooler months, we see bigger mangroves, more quality, a little less quantity. Warmer months, we see a lot more quantity, and the average size goes down a little bit. But yeah, it's definitely become more of a year-round fishery now. Would you recommend an artificial shrimp lure on the 10-hour? Something like the Salt Strong prawn with a 2-ounce football jig head. Me personally, no. I wouldn't recommend that. We generally use live bait or dead bait, or you use like a slow pitch jig or like one of those ball jigs. But my man Luke Simons, he proved us wrong. He went out there, the one of the founding brothers of Salt Strong, on a 39-hour trip, and he fished that power prawn on a 2-ounce football jig head and just absolutely murdered it. Just insane catch he put together with that power prawn and a 2-ounce jig head. So would I do that? Would I have thought of that? No. Have I seen it work? Yes. And it's worked with great success. So the idea, though, I mean, casting something out underhand, you got to cast underhand out away from the boat and then kind of bouncing it along the bottom back to you is definitely going to produce some action. And you're going to get some curious fish on that, especially the red grouper like it. Hogfish are super curious, so it could potentially work. Is it a common thing? Are you going to get looks? Yes. Is it common? No. But has it worked? Yes. Does brining bait on the 39-hour trip make a major difference? Or does bringing bait, I think was the question. Brining bait helps a lot on a 39-hour trip. People get messed up and they're like, oh, I got to brine my bait on a 10-hour. No. You really only have to brine bait on the 39 and 44-hour trips because the fishing trip is so long. you got 20 hours of fishing time. So you need to brine the bait so it lasts a little bit, gets a little bit firmer, doesn't get mushy on you. But keep in mind, nowadays we're catching our own fresh bait and we're already brining it for you. So most of the bait is already pre-brined, or we already have a brine solution going. So really, brining has become less necessary or intrusive because we're kind of already doing it for you on those longer range trips where it is helpful. Does bringing bait help, if that was your question? Yes, I mean, there's some specialty baits in our shop that do sometimes help. Will has mentioned it before, for the scamp, for the muttons, having something a little different sometimes helps. And it's really, really, really interesting. You got a lot of people using threadfin, and someone drops down a cigar minnow. Sometimes that'll get the bite. If everybody's using sardines and someone drops down a threadfin, it's something different, something new. If everybody's using bait and someone drops down a slow pitch jig, it's something new, something different. Sometimes it gets the bite. So changing it up a little bit can help, especially if you've been fishing a spot for a little while and the fish kind of have fatigue. They're seeing the same things. Dropping down something a little unique, a little bit different helps. And it's the same thing with leader size, right? Especially this time of year, fishing gags, you really want to be fishing heavy tackle. We preach that a lot. You want to be fishing 80-pound test for fishing for gags. But if everybody's using 80-pound test and then this person down here drops down 40-pound test, who do you think's going to get the bite? The person using 40-pound test. Who do you think's going to break that fish off? The person using 40-pound test. Then once that fish gets broke off, it sits down there, it grunts, it shuts the bite down for everybody. So you really got to work together and make sure everybody's using this bigger, heavier tackle, and then you'll still get action. If everybody's using an 80-pound test or everybody's using a 100-pound test, they'll bite a 100-pound test. But if you got 5 guys using a 100-pound test and one guy uses a 40-pound test, the guy with 40 is going to get the bite and he's going to lose the fish and ruin it for everybody. So you got to work together a little bit to make sure you're successful. What is the biggest red snapper so far this year? Biggest one I saw weighed in was about 25 pounds and change. But I don't always see every single fish that comes off the boat, especially the 12-hour extreme fish. And a lot of times the biggest ones are caught on those extreme trips. So I don't know. Let's see. What other questions do we have? Someone said, do you have to create a channel to comment? No. You can comment on a YouTube video without your own YouTube channel. Just need a Google account, which pretty sure everybody has a Gmail. If you don't have a Gmail, I'm sure you have a Google Maps account or a Google Review account. Virtually everybody has a Google account. You may not know it, but you probably do. Is non-alcoholic beer permitted on board? You would think so, right? It would make sense if you're. We can't allow alcohol on the boats, on the party boats, because we have an alcohol license, and the state of Florida says wherever there's an alcohol license, you can't bring alcohol. So you would think, all right, alcohol license, you can't bring alcohol. If I have non-alcoholic beer, I can bring that. We actually got in trouble for that. So DPBR, Department of Business, no, DBPR, Department of Business and Professional Regulation, is the agency that kind of governs the whole alcohol policy thing. And they came down and wrote us a ticket because we had NA beers going on board the boat with an alcohol license, because it's still, even though it's non-alcoholic, it's still considered a alcoholic product. Pretty lame. So to answer your question, unfortunately, technically, no, we cannot allow NA beers to be brought on the boat. Pretty silly. Not by choice. What do you do differently to target gags versus big reds when going deep? Different bottom structure? Yes, yes, and yes. Red grouper like bait shows, red grouper like hard rock bottom, flat hard rock bottom, shell even. Red grouper can get out over areas and do some foraging during the day. So you're looking for different structures, potholes, cracks, flat hard bottom, bait shows, some fuzzy bottom out there. Whereas gags, you're looking for ledges, you're looking for rock piles, you're looking for little wrecks, you're looking for structure. Gags are structure oriented. Red grouper, especially during the day, are out foraging a lot. So they're moving around and they're not necessarily as structure oriented. They like little holes. They do like their structure too, but they're going to be out and away from structure, whereas the gag's not going to be very far from his home. Let's see here. My question is about red grouper. It runs through December. Do you have any question, or do you have any idea about January 2026? Red grouper does not have a season. A lot of people get that confused. So there's no red grouper season ever. There hasn't been a red grouper season ever. But the last couple of years, red grouper have been closing May, June, July, August, because we had a small red grouper quota. Landings would get high. That quota was projected to be met, and then they would have to close red grouper because the quota was projected to be met. However, now the red grouper quota is super high, so there's no red grouper quota closure expected. The quota resets January 1. So if the red grouper quota was still low and they closed red grouper, it would automatically reopen January 1st when the quota resets. So to answer your question, we know, guaranteed, red grouper is going to be open January 1st, 100%, through 2026 until the quota is projected to be met, which hopefully won't ever be met with this new or higher quota. Hopefully. That's the goal, the thought, the inclination. We shall see how that works out, right? All right, let's see what our next question is. What is the size limit on red grouper? You're allowed 2 per person per day, 20 inches. Oh, this is a lot of questions. All right. I'm coming down in 16 days, going on the 10-hour trip. Awesome. We look forward to seeing you. Are diamond jigs obsolete? No. People still use diamond jigs, especially for a hammer diamond jig, especially like a 16-ounce hammer diamond jig. Probably one of my favorite amberjack baits. What is the size limit on red grouper? I answered that one already. Can you smoke cigars on the boats? Yes, you can. Just be courteous to those around you. So some people, not me, I really like the smell of cigars. My dad was a cigar smoker. My grandfather was a cigar smoker. My dad smoked cigars like every blue moon, though. I'm talking like a dozen a year, maybe. And my grandfather used to smoke cigars all the time. So he had a ton of cigars around. So I was raised around cigar smoke, so it doesn't bother me. I like the smell of it. I even will smoke a cigar every now and again. But also, like my father, on a rare occasion. You can smoke cigars, but they do bother people. They are a very pervasive smell. So we just ask that you wait until the engines are on and the boat's moving and you smoke at the back of the boat. And as long as you're courteous to those around you, it shouldn't be a problem. All right, let's see here. What else do we got? What other questions do you have? Just wanted to say thank you. Oh, happy birthday, Dan Burnett. Appreciate you coming out and joining us for your birthday today. He's 25 again, folks. We won't shout out your birthday. No one needs to know that. Do you think gags will have a longer season next year? They should. Gag grouper season next year is projected. My guess is around 30 to 40 days next year, if there's no overage. So that is the big question, is where the quota will land, where the landings will land. But if there isn't an overage next year, we should have a much longer, a little more than double gag grouper season next year. All right. Any chance red snapper season will be extended? There is a small chance, but I would not count on it because of the timing and also because of how slow things have gone at the federal fisheries level since all the employees were released. Things have just grinded to a halt. So I would imagine we probably won't get that data in time for them to evaluate a red snapper season extension, unfortunately. When is your next OCC morning show? So we don't do a morning show at Orange County Choppers, OCC Roadhouse. We do that at 7 p.m. every fourth Tuesday of the month. So Tuesday, September 23rd, 7 p.m. is our next OCC Roadhouse event. We do have a morning show. Every Saturday morning, we have a Real Animals radio show that streams live to the Hubbard's Marina Facebook, the Real Animals Facebook, and now the Hubbard's Marina YouTube channel every Saturday morning from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. And then we do the news segment every Friday morning at 8:15 a.m. on Fox 13 News. On live bait shrimp and pinfish, do I need a bubbler or a bucket? No. No and no. So shrimp comes in a bait bucket. You bring your the bait bucket we give you onto the boat, and you can put it in your live well, so you don't need a bubbler for your shrimp. You can bring one if you want. Then you can keep them by your feet. Pinfish, you don't need a bucket for. We're going to load them on the boat for you on our 10-hour trips. On our 39-hour trips, you have to load them on the boat, but we're going to give you a bucket as well. Your thoughts on commercial bait cures to preserve and dye large dead shrimp for hogfish. Fresh dead shrimp work well. Frozen shrimp do not work well, because remember, when you freeze something, it changes the cellular and molecular structure. So the actual cells inside the flesh of that shrimp will actually expand when it's frozen and burst. So when they become thawed out, when they warm up, they become super mushy and they fall off the hook really easy. So they might be nice and hard when frozen, but when you put a hook through it and you put it in the 90-degree water and it sits down there for a minute, it can literally just come off your hook without even getting a bite because it gets so mushy in the water. So I don't like frozen shrimp. Fresh dead shrimp work really, really well as long as they stay fresh dead. So that's the trick. As far as commercial bait cures and scents and dyes, I mean, you could try it. Have I done it? No. Have I seen it used successfully? I mean, smelly stuff does sometimes work, but hogfish are not really smell oriented as much as they are sight sound. So hogfish, like, remember that time Smokey was swearing by those, he wanted 4 or 5 red beads between the hook and the lead, and you would bounce that on the bottom a little bit and click those beads together. Captain Frank and Smokey was like, that's the way to catch all the hogfish, because it had a lot to do with the sound. And then also bouncing it on the bottom, you're creating little puffs of sand. And a hogfish is a wrasse. It's not a snapper. It's not a grouper. It's a wrasse. It's a different species of fish. It's cruising 3, 4, 5 feet above the bottom, and it's looking down for crustaceans. What does a crustacean do? A shrimp, a lobster, a crab, when it sees a predator, it goes down in the sand and it buries itself in the sand. And it makes a little puff of sand. So that hogfish is cruising, looking for that puff of sand. So if you cast underhand away from the boat, and then once it lands on the bottom out here at an angle, and then you just lift your rod tip up, a little bit and bounce that lead a couple inches off the bottom back towards you. Every time it bounces, it creates a little puff of sand. And that's getting that hogfish's attention. So, do you need smell? No. I think it's more about sound and sight for the hogfish personally. But try it out. One way to find out. Can you use a 5-hour free trips towards a better trip? We can work with you. Give me an email, info@hubbardsmarina.com, and I can try to help you out. What's the best bait for hogfish? Live shrimp. Can you brine the shrimp for better results? I wouldn't recommend it. I'd probably just stick to fresh shrimp, live shrimp. Buy them live. If they die, they're still good as long as they're fresh dead. Brining them, I mean, that could be a potential way to kind of keep them fresh dead longer. But live shrimp works fine. AJs, haven't seen any. We've caught a few amberjack on our 39-hour trips. You're not going to catch them on a 10-hour ever. What is the meaning of discipline equals freedom? That is, the shirt I'm wearing is from the Jocko podcast. If you haven't heard of it before, it's pretty legit. He does, it's all about leadership, and it's also got like a big fitness, like take care of yourself twist as well. And it's all about like historical war stuff. Really, really cool. I highly recommend. The older original Jocko podcast was even better back in the day. Now he does a lot more like current events and interviewing people because he's been doing it for like 6 years. So he had to change it a little bit. But the old stuff, serious. serious. Not safe for work though, because some of that stuff, it's like historically accurate war stuff. Some of it's pretty heinous, but highly recommend it. And good dude. So bought some of his t-shirts. When are kingfish coming in? Kingfish like water temperatures between 72 and 78 degrees. Right now, water temperatures are still about mid to upper 80s. So we're still about 10 degrees away from prime time kingfishing. So I would imagine we're 4 or 6 weeks out, depending on cold fronts. So generally, they follow the moons. And a lot of times, let's see, we just had a full moon early September. So I would say we're probably early October might be our first chance for them. Have you gotten any black grouper on the long trips? Yes, true black carbos. We do see them from time to time on 12-hour extreme, 39, 44 hours. You never know. Is a GoPro a no-no? You can bring a GoPro if you'd like. You can also bring your phone nowadays, so phones work as well. We went out on the 19th of August, and okay, never mind, we'll skip that one. How do you think chicken liver would do for bait? Man, some of this stuff you just, again, you don't know until you try it. The big gag, the 31.5-pound gag that was caught on a butterflied ladyfish, kind of a unique bait out there. So chicken liver, you never know. That's actually a good one, Josh. We can talk about that. Chicken liver. Someone asked me the other day about bloodworms. So I don't know. My son and daughter are into YouTube, and they're into some of the fishing YouTube influencers, and I've seen the bloodworms before. I don't know if I mess with that personally. Have you seen a bloodworm, Josh? Mm-hmm. Dude, gross. They look like aliens. Like if I saw one of those and like wasn't sure what it was, I would think I encountered alien life. They're wild looking. Like I wouldn't recommend Googling bloodworms in a dark room.
I grew up in the mountains fishing freshwater, so bloodworms was kind of like a staple. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm a saltwater guy. Even the first time encountering, like, oh yeah, we're gonna go fishing. Let's get some worms. I was like, what? Yeah, whatever. To each their own, right? This person was talking about a trip in August where they got out there and some of the bait was dead from grass in the pumps. Does that happen often? Sometimes it does, right? So our boats have live well systems, and those live well systems run by pulling water in from the Gulf, circulating the water in our live well systems, and pumping that water out. So we are at the mercy of things like if red tide is around. Luckily, we have no red tide around, so that's not a problem right now. But if red tide does come around, it kills bait because red tide gets circulated through the live well system. If we run into areas where there's a lot of seagrass or a lot of sargassum weed, then yeah, sargassum weed gets pulled into that pump, clogs the pump shuts down, and then it kills the bait. Most of the time, that isn't a problem on like a 10-hour trip because we notice the pumps are down immediately. The problem we run into is on that 39-hour trip, because what do we do on the way out during a 39-hour trip? Everybody goes to bed, except for the second captain and the crew who's on lookout, but they're not paying attention to the live wells, right? They're up in the wheelhouse doing their thing, keeping the boat safe. So unfortunately, it can happen where you have the unfortunate grass in the live wells. But does it happen often? No, because if it happened often, we would not have the live wells set up like we have them. But this time of year, it does happen from time to time in the summer when we get into this grassy time. But we try our best to do the best we can to keep them out of it. All right, next question. What do we got?
That was the schoolmaster.
That is a schoolmaster?
Yeah, from Sheriff Bruce.
Yeah, schoolmaster. Might have been a dog. I don't know. Juvenile fish look a lot different, right? So a juvenile snowy grouper looks nothing like an adult snowy grouper. And a juvenile lane snapper has super vibrant colors where an adult lane snapper doesn't. So it's very difficult to, and sharks, don't get me started on sharks. Juvenile sharks are impossible to to identify, essentially, until they're like 8 foot. On 39-hour trips, how often do you catch blackfin tuna or mahi? Well, we were in a time there where we're catching mahi quite a bit, quite frequently, almost every trip. Not a ton, but we were catching them. Blackfin tuna we catch from time to time. Not often, but we do have a chance for blackfin tuna. Generally, spring and fall, blackfins get a little heavier and they stay kind of consistent through the summer. This year's been a weird year on blackfins, though. We haven't seen as many blackfins, but we've seen more mahi, so definitely a little strange. All right, we ready for another giveaway there, Josh? All right, so Josh is queued up. This giveaway is brought to you by our friends over there at Bass Pro Shops. If you have not checked them out yet, Bass Pro has a litany of great gear. We did a post on the Captain Dylan Hubbard page talking about the killer vacuum sealer that they have, Cabela's. It's a Cabela's commercial grade vacuum sealer. They have a 12-inch and a 15-inch model. We use the 15-inch model down at the Don's Dock Seafood Market to vacuum seal our fish. And man, we put that thing through the paces, abuse it, and it still keeps ticking. It is amazing. So really, really good Cabela's brand commercial vacuum sealer. The 12-inch is only $2.99. The 15-inch is $3.99. They also have some other models for as cheap as $50 to $150. So some really good options there. Also keep in mind we use their Seafire line. The Seafire reels are I think they're about $90 to $110 to start, and they go up from there to about $150. They are an incredible value with a super solid, stout, impressive, unbelievable, really, drag system for the price, and they are really solid. They take a ton of abuse as our rental reels, and they still hold up. They've got a little higher end options. The Ocean Master line is by Bass Pro and Cabela's. There's also the Offshore Angler trick fish or offshore angler fluorocarbon that we use pretty heavily. I fish with quite a bit. It works really well, and it's a killer value as well. So they've got a whole hook line. So there's some really good Bass Pro Shops and Cabela line tackle and gear. If you haven't checked it out yet, we use it quite frequently with great success. We actually help test a lot of their offshore and saltwater products, and we're really happy to be partnered up with Bass Pro, so check them out. And our 10-hour all-day giveaway tonight is brought to you by our friends at Bass Pro Shops, Cabela's, and Team Outdoors. With that, lucky winner is John Boyer from Dade City. Congratulations, John. You've got 5 minutes or less to text us your full home address. Someone said they're watching from Oviedo. I used to live in Oviedo when I went to UCF. Man, what's that lake called? Lake Jessup. The most alligator-populated lake in Florida. I lived on it. It was awesome. It was at any time you could go out there and there'd be like 10 alligators in the backyard. And then possums and raccoons. It was wild. It was fun times. I worked at a bar next door called the Lazy Gator, and I was a bouncer, Josh, and I stood out front at this gate, and behind the gate was a 14-foot gator. So it was so much fun. That was a cool job. All right, so next question. What do we got? When do you start seeing black sea bass? We used to catch a lot of black sea bass. When I was a kid, man, we caught a ton of black sea bass. But not so much anymore. We see some black sea bass, but, I mean, definitely not as many as we used to. And that there's been discussions as to why, but we can see them from time to time. I think we see more of them when it's a little cooler, but it's definitely been a little bit slower on the black sea bass front compared to historical times. But we are seeing more lanes, more yellowtails, more muttons. That warmer water species has moved north. Those cooler water species like the black sea bass have also moved pretty far north out of our area, I think. How many free trips would someone get if they were to name their child Hubbard's Marina? I'm going to have to get back to you on that, but I like your style, whoever that is.
We'll talk.
Yes, we'll come up with a number. You get it, my people. We'll come up with a number. info@hubbardsmarina.com. Shoot me an email. That would be awesome. remember, $1,000 in free trip fare for a Hubbard's Marina tattoo. And I think it was, what did we say for a face tattoo? It was $5,000?
Yeah.
Yeah, $5,000 free trip fare for a face tattoo. So I'm thinking like the little Hubbard's logo, corner of the eye kind of thing.
A little fish.
Yeah, little neck tattoo. We could work that out too.
It's got to be black, large font.
Yes, all the way across the neck. Because remember, if you go to hubbardsmarina.com and you hit info, hit Marina info, you can pop on over here to the Hubbard's Marina tattoo page, and that's going to show you all the latest Hubbard's Marina tattoos. We've got a few more to add still. There is a lot of Hubbard's Marina tattoos floating around out there, and all the rules are on this page, the guidelines, and what to do, how to do it, how it works. So check it out. Again, if you go to our website, hit info, hit Marina info, and then Hubbard's Marina tattoos. Check it out. All right, next question. What do we got? I use a fillet from a trout on a 39-hour trip 2 weeks ago and won $280 for the biggest red snapper. Huh. All right, well, just remember, any fish that has this size limit or bag limit you can't legally use for bait, but all good, because it's in the past. We'll pretend like that was for entertainment purposes only. But yeah, I don't know what kind of trout it was. We'll say it was a silver trout, which is, we're good on that. But yeah, stinky, oily bait, bonita, northern mackerel, mullet, ladyfish, all great options. Cut mullet is another good one for sure. What else we got here, Josh? Bloodworms are an outstanding bait. Still not going to do it though. It's disgusting. My big gag on a 39-hour was on a live whiting. There you go. That you caught in John's Pass before the trip. There you go. Hogfish like crabs. Has anybody tried fiddler crabs? Yes. We used to use fiddler crabs a lot. The thing about fiddler crabs, though, is you have to... they're a little bit tough to keep alive as a bait shop, so we just didn't use them. And then also, as a bait, you don't get any bycatch. If you're using live shrimp, you can also catch a mango or a lane or anything. Everything bites a shrimp, right? So you still have action. Whereas the hogfish or the fiddler crabs, you really only get porgies or hogfish. So you can soak a fiddler crab for a while and it can get kind of boring because people are catching fish around you and you're not getting any bites. So it works well, but it is also a little bit tough because it just eliminates all the bycatch, which can be a little bit frustrating for some people. Let's see what else we got. Nice photo of a big dog snapper. That is amazing. Tattoo. Let's see. What if I get a second tattoo? I love it. We'll have to talk about that one. Can I use a... Someone said, can I use a fillet knife for cutting meat? If you missed the Saturday morning radio show, it was a good one. Captain Bobby Woodard and Captain Travis Thompson were on there. We had a good time. It was a funny one. Travis was in rare form, for sure. Let's see what else we got. I just named my puppy. I just renamed my puppy Hubbard's Marina. What do I get for that? I like it. People are getting inventive. I like your style, guys. Let's see. Recommendation for a fishing trip in Destin, Florida. American Spirit. Check out my buddy Captain Jim Green up there on the American Spirit party boats. Really, really good dude. He will get you set up. There's no extra E. No, just green like the color. American Spirit. That's a party boat. There's charter boats in Destin too, and a lot of good options. But if you go to Florida, it's Florida Guides or Florida Dash Guides? Yeah, florida-guides.com. You can also search by the city you're going to, and it'll show you lots of good options around your region. So florida-guides.com is a good option. How light are loads on the boat in October? Super light, super light. So we're sold out for gag season. Super busy. But right after gag season and red snapper season closes, we've got 19 people on the boat on the Tuesday trip, 25 people on the boat on a Friday trip. So super light loads on the extreme trips, 39-hour trips. Even the half days really start to lighten up quite a bit as we get out of this busier time. Let's see, October 39-hour trips, we're averaging about 20 to 25 people on those trips. 20 or 25, so super light loads for sure. If you're watching on YouTube, again, don't forget to thumbs up and subscribe. Like and subscribe, please. Reminder. I came up with the tattoo idea. What do I get? Terry was one of the first for sure. Brian Eakins. Brian was one of the first, not Terry. Name was wrong on our messenger. Sorry, Brian. Brian was definitely, I think, the first to have the Hubbard's Marina tattoo, other than my cousin, Garrett. I think he was the first. Few weeks, gonna fish for a day or two from the beach. Any advice? In a few weeks. So if you're going to fish from the beach anywhere from like May, June until late September, early October, snook fishing is what you want to do. Early morning, live shrimp. And go back and watch the June 1st, the 6/1/25 live show. We had the snook fishing beach guru on here, and he gave you his tips and tricks for how to catch snook from the beach. That was probably the most important live show that we've done when it comes to snook fishing. So that is June 1st, 6/1/25. That was Scott Sadorf was here, and it was a really good show. Watch it on YouTube. It's easier to find on YouTube because you can just look at all the videos Hubbard's Marina has posted. You can look at all the live videos and then just scroll back to 6/1. So June 1st. That was a stellar one for sure. All right. What else we got? I'm going on the 10-hour. Can I troll? Not typically. 10 hours are typically moving a little too fast to troll, unfortunately. Let's see what else we got. When you pull up on a weed patch, what do you recommend throwing at it? Live shrimp generally, gotcha plugs, yellow bucktails, all really good option. How's the fishing for hogfish in late October? It depends on the weather. Cold fronts make the hogfish concentrate on structure. It makes it easier for us to target them with hook and line. So we need cold fronts to start. If the cold fronts are rolling, fishing gets good. So generally by end of October, it should be good if weather is normal. Because cold fronts typically start late September, early October. And then they kind of get a little bit stronger as we go. How can I sign up for the giveaways? All you have to do is comment one time on YouTube. Once you comment on the live show on YouTube, you're entered for a chance to win. Are we out of questions? We're also out of time as well. So, Josh, what time is the supporters after show? 8:45? All right, supporters after show. If you haven't thought about joining the supporters group, we're really trying to put some effort behind it and give you guys more updates, behind the scenes info. Plus, you get access to our weekly after show. So think about joining the supporters group. It's only $4.99 a month. You can't beat that. Less than $5. And you get access to the private after show. You get access to the private group on Facebook and tons of information. So check it out, hubbardsmarina.com/supporters. Or Josh is dropping the link in the chat with all the info. So check it out and join the supporters group today. 8:45, the supporters after show starts. Last giveaway of the night is going to be our 39-hour trip, which we're going to get to in 1 second and see who won that 39-hour trip. But, again, want to remind you, next week, Thursday, we've got September 11th, 7 p.m. at CJ's Backstage, the Old Salts Fishing Club meeting, where we're going to be talking fishing, answering questions. It's going to be a great time right there in Tyrone area. Again, CJ's Backstage, September 11th, 7 p.m. And then September 23rd at 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. We're going to be over there at OCC Roadhouse every fourth Tuesday of the month at 7 p.m. OCC Roadhouse event. So come hang out with us in person at either one of those events, or stop by and see us at Hubbard's Marina for a dolphin tour, an island trip, an eco tour, a sunset trip, one of those island snorkeling adventures, or a fishing adventure, or a private charter. We do it all. Plus, we've got the seafood market. If you're too busy to go fishing, you can stop by the seafood market. And then finally, the partner who brought you the giveaway for our 39-hour trip is our restaurant. The Hubbard's Marina family has taken over ownership, or has always had ownership, but taken over management of the Friendly Fisherman Seafood Restaurant. So if you haven't been there in a while, come on back and try it again. This time of year, Johns Pass really needs some locals and some visitors to come visit, because it gets really slow around the pass. So stop down. It's a good time to grab a bite to eat at the Friendly Fisherman. They've got a crazy good cobia special right now. You really can't beat fresh cobia, and it's really good. They do this taco special with this like mango chutney. Let me tell you. Plus, they got bacon wrapped scallop special right now that, again, is top notch. You got the waterfront deck, you got killer drinks. It's a good time. Plus, they got a locals club, so show the ID, ask about the locals club, and they'll get you a discount for being a local too. So you got discounted parking if you're fishing with us at Hubbard's Marina, or pull into the garage, which is the economy parking in the area, and ask about the locals club. It'll give you a little bit of a discount as well. So check them out, and give the Friendly Fisherman a visit here while it's slow around the pass, and enjoy the pass. There's so much to do and see. All right, let's see who won our 39-hour fishing trip for one lucky winner. And again, hopefully we'll see you guys all next week for another episode every Sunday night at 7:30 p.m. right here on the Hubbard's Marina YouTube, TikTok channel, on Instagram, Facebook, Trovo, Twitch. We stream to all the platforms. You can watch anywhere you want. So I appreciate everybody being a part of our Hubbard's Marina family, and we'll see all our supporters at 8:45 for the supporters after show. Lucky winner of the 39-hour fishing trip for one lucky winner, brought to you by our friends over at the Friendly Fisherman Seafood Restaurant. Lucky winner is Chris Molina from North Tampa. Congrats, Chris. You got 5 minutes or less to text us your full home address to the phone number on the screen. Y'all have a great night. Tight lines. Appreciate you being a part of our Hubbard's Marina family. We'll see you again next week for another episode. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video. We appreciate y'all. Check out our channel. We got lots of cool videos coming, and even more content coming this week. So stay tuned and make sure you turn on notifications. Have a good night, y'all. We're out.